Good evening. Welcome to Latino Talk TV. I'm your host, Jose Luis Jimenez.
And I'm Ben Mendez.
We're broadcasting live here from Houston Media Source in the greater East End of Houston, Texas. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're ready to have a great hour with us. We're going to have some very interesting topics. But before we get into the topics, Ben, what's going on in the community?
Well, as you know, we have a new pope.
Yes, we do.
And he's from Argentina. And I was reading up on him, and it's kind of interesting that Pope Francis is not his real name. He's named after Saint Francis.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. His real name is Jorge Mario Bergoglio. I hope I said that correct. From Argentina. Now, he was voted in on March 13th, so he's a brand new pope, 76 years old. The 266th pope from the Roman Catholic Church.
And I was really excited to see it. I'm Catholic myself, and I'm part of the Knights of Columbus, and it's really an honor to see that happen. And also on top of that, he's, I believe, the first Latino to be the Pope.
I don't know about that. I didn't read that.
Yeah, he's the first Latino, the first one from the Americas. It's just a huge, huge honor. And on top of that, some of the things that he did once he got installed, he wore a wooden cross, which is very, very significant because if you look at the historical presence of some of the popes, they've used very ornate crosses. On top of another thing is that he didn't elevate himself in front of the other cardinals. So symbolically, that has a lot of meaning to where he didn't take that extra step above and greet the rest. He met them eye to eye, and he broke rank and he actually walked into the crowds. It's like a president just walking into the crowd. That's just unheard of. To have a pope just break away, tell his guards kind of step off and go greet the people, greet the masses.
Well, he's the first non-European leader of the church for 1,200 years. Wow, that's incredible. What kind of impact do you think this will have in the Hispanic community here?
I personally think it's already had a huge positive impact because, one, the gentleman is very charismatic. When I first saw him, I'll be bluntly honest, I didn't really know what kind of a person he was going to portray. He seemed, a little older. Kind of like we're continuing to bring in older gentlemen to be the popes, and I really didn't see. But once he started speaking, the charisma just blossomed out of him, and he's just so powerful in his presence that it really moved me. And the one statement that is still sticking to me is that we need to build a church for the poor, a poor church for the poor, and that has a lot of meaning within it because there's a lot of discussions about how much money the church has, especially the Catholic Church, because I think there's a statement that there's only one organization that comes close to the Catholic Church in real estate owned, and that's McDonald's. And the Catholic Church owns more land in the world than anybody else. So if you look at that, it's the money situation that we have to really discuss here, and what kind of impact he's going to really have on the church and what's he going to do. Because in this country we have a lot of churches, really shutting down, a lot of schools shutting down because of the lack of money. But you still have donations coming in, you still have real estate owned, you still have leases going on, so the church is not poor.
Oh, by no means. And
so
I would agree with that.
So let's see what he does.
We'll see if he takes more trips to South America. Now that he's from Argentina, we have a new pope coming to South America representing their people. It'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it all comes out.
Now, I have another story. This is a heartwarming story. A 106-year-old woman graduated from high school. Now, she was not allowed to graduate because apparently she didn't do one last assignment. She had to read a book.
Wow.
Right. So her diploma was granted to her, and she was in her bed. They put a gown on her and took photos, and she was thrilled that she finally had her diploma, 106 years old.
That just goes to show that it's never too late to go back to school.
That's correct.
And that should be something that everyone should really pay attention to, including you and me. If you have your MBA already?
No, I don't have an MBA.
Well, I don't either, so we need to have to go back to school together. So there'll be the two old guys in there with Ben Gay rubbing on our arms trying to get their MBAs. But okay, maybe just you, not me.
Well, I will tell you that I'm ready to take a Carnival cruise.
Oh, no. Isn't this like the third disaster they've had, or is it the second?
They've had 3 mishaps, if you will.
Wow.
And just recently, they had one Carnival cruise ship. The people that are on the cruise ship are going to have to fly off and go to the homeland. So I don't know how they're going to do that. But
well, at least they're flying them off now. Before they were trying to be stingy and not take them off, let them sit there in the boat for a long time. At least they're bringing helicopters in and take people off.
and I ran into your friend Wayne Dolcefino.
That's your buddy. And then if I know what you're running for, and he's going to really be your buddy after that. I mean,
Well, actually, he's running for office.
who? Wayne Oljafino?
Wayne is running for Katy ISD School Board, position 1.
You're kidding.
Yeah, he's running against an incumbent. Apparently, the incumbent has been there for 24 years.
Wow.
And he says it's time for a change. So he's
They should say that
running.
at Channel 13 too.
Well, after 26 years with Channel 13, I mean, it was time to do something else, right?
Is he's still on the news though, right?
I'm not sure about that. I
haven't seen him
on
in
the
a
news.
while. He's not on there anymore. Well, we made quite an impact on the community. I mean, even some of his stories out there. Just look at some of the things that happened because of him. One, we got the investigation on our friend Victor Trevino, constable. Also, Jerry Eversole. Commissioner Jerry Eversole. And when Wayne Dolcefino got on it, I mean, good, bad, or indifferent, people paid attention.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then the next story I want to tell you about is Republicans issued some kind of statement.
Uh-huh.
And Republicans want to end perception as stuffy old men. Now, you know better than I do. Now,
Okay.
27% of Latinos voted for Romney.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This is down significantly from the past presidential races that they had. So, what are your thoughts? How are they going to turn Hispanics to vote Republican?
Well, that's a good question. You want my real opinion?
Your real opinion.
Okay. Well, I honestly believe that the majority of Latinos are already extremely conservative. That's my true belief. But because of a couple, maybe 2 to 3 issues, number 1, immigration, number 2, business and employment law, and I think those things have been driving people away from the Republican Party. If the Republicans that are in control now would have played it smart from the amnesty of '86, they would have ridden that every single year and continued that, and they would be in control with no questions asked. Because there's a lot of people who are loyal to the Republican Party simply because they got the amnesty of '86. No other reason. And on top of that, because they're conservative Catholics,
Well, it went down from 34% to 27%.
But immigration,
immigration was the number 1 issue.
Immigration and their treatment of undocumented immigrants and the public perception of how they were speaking of them, that turned away a lot of people.
Sure.
And that's been my position. Because on business-wise, I'm a small business owner. And I believe in lower taxes and smarter government. But we don't have a lot of smart government. Government is not the leaders in efficiency and customer service. On the contrary, look at the way government is being run today. You look at the county level, they close at 4:30 before anybody gets off of work. Federal level, you have to wait for almost a month just to get your passport. So are they really being an efficient government? Absolutely not. Perception is what it is. They've created that perception of rich, powerful people who run the Republican Party, and the Democratic Party has become the
middle class.
No, not even the party of the poor. It's the 2 extremes of the super rich and then the super poor, and then you have this group of Tea Partiers that are screaming at everybody that don't really make any sense anywhere. That's my opinion, because the true middle class business person that's trying to raise a family, trying to keep make ends meet, trying to save for a future, have a good retirement, provide for their parents, because I'm in that situation. I have parents that are getting older that they didn't really learn how to save later on, so I now have to juggle 2 different things. I mean, I don't see the Republican Party jumping up and down and trying to help me, and then on the other side, the taxes keep going up. So there's a big crowd of people that are like right in the middle, and they're looking at both extremes, Democrats and Republicans. So I'm in the middle.
So what you're going to say is that we're going to have more independence down the road.
Absolutely. And now look at Texas. You heard about the next George Bush. Now we have another George Bush running for office. It's like every generation we have another George Bush running. I wonder what the next middle initial is going to be. So now we have George P. Bush. And if you look at him, he's Latino. I mean, mom's Mexican, the dad's Jeb Bush. I mean, the guy is as brown as you can get. As they say in our family, you can't ignore the nopal on the forehead. It is what it is. But the gentleman is a Republican and very prominent in the Republican circles, and let's see how it comes out.
Well, we have some good guests here today from the Democratic Party. The Road Women are here.
That's right. I'm looking forward to hearing them talk.
And then we also have the Houston Alliance of Arts, or Arts Alliance. And so I'm looking forward to talking to our guest.
So let's talk some politics, right?
Let's do it.
All right, you guys are watching Latino Talk TV. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Sorry, live television. We're sitting here trying to talk to see what's going on. Okay, now we have some very special guests with us, and we also have the phone lines open. We'll put the phone on the screen in a very short while. But we have the Road Women here, which is the River Oaks Area Democratic Party.
Women.
Women. River Oaks Area Democratic Women. Okay, so for you out there who may not realize that there are Democrats in River Oaks too. Okay, just that's a joke. Okay, lighten up. Okay.
Actually, we do say it's a state of mind.
Okay. So right now, I'd like for y'all to please introduce yourselves and just say who you are. And
Well, I'm Diane Mosier. I'm the president of River Oaks Area Road Women, River Oaks Area, and the founding member of the Blue Ribbon Lobby Day.
Okay.
I'm Andrea Gardner, and I'm part of the organizing committee for Blue Ribbon Lobby Day.
I'm Denise Ache. I'm also part of the organizing. I'm also part of the organizing part of it.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
And my name is Linda Marroquin. I'm a board member of Road Women, and I think you can see that there's quite a bit of diversity in Road Women.
Okay. So what is and what does the Road Women do?
Road Women is a group of women who got together after the Democrats lost substantially in '94 and were wiped out. And the idea was, as it started, was there were a bunch of women, and they said there are no Democratic women left in Harris County. And they said, yes, there are, even in River Oaks. And that's how the name started, was River Oaks Area Democratic Women, which was really a state of mind and not a geographical location. So we invite people to join Road Women from all over. As you can see, we're very diverse. We have all ages and all income levels, but we're very dedicated to the premise that women embolden other women. Women who want to take action and want to get involved can help other women rise up and become and help their families and their communities. I came from this era. This era is a bunch of, and I show this because
We're
it's
going to expand the camera real quick. We're going to bring it down and can you see it?
This is where I grew up. I grew up near a golf club, and we were members, and a bunch of white women wishing they could talk just like these women talk, which was, you know, we have our own ideas, but we don't dare say them. And so this is where we came back in the day. What's hard to believe is that women of my age are having to reach out to women of their age and younger to fight the same exact battle that we fought in the 60s, and that includes everything from civil rights to equal rights. So we're still right back where we started. So those good old days, they're back right now with the current legislature we have, and what we wanted to do was build an answer. We wanted women to know they could vote.
And just for the viewers' sake, there are men in this group. I actually joined myself. I'm part of the group. And so what percentage is men, more or less?
This is really going to look like the same group that we put together on War on Women rally in April 28th, where women from all over the country went to their capitals, the 48 capitals, on the same day. And of that group, I'd say about a third were men. It was awesome to see. You know, it was Texas women and the men who loved them, and it was wonderful.
And you know, Jose, there's a bill actually going to the State House that is talking about the equal pay for women. And that's being presented by one of our representatives here in Houston, Ms. Thompson. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't see any men going against that. Do you?
Well, we are in a Republican, controlled environment. Look at the federal level. We had people voting against Women Against Violence Act at the federal
Correct.
level. I thought that was the most ignorant thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like, how can you sit there and justify your position to vote against something like that? That's my personal opinion. So,
Well,
I don't know about y'all, unless you guys, because it was voted down the first time.
There are, we wanted to come with a list of bills. I spent all day on the phone with lobbyists out of Austin, women lobbyists and men lobbyists out of Austin, looking at the bills that were even just being going on the calendar to look at the things. It's not about one issue, and I wanted each one of them to address issues that might concern them. It's about the thousands of issues that hit women and their families every day. And let's face it, when mama's not happy, nobody's happy.
You can say that again.
I know that's
We've been
right.
talking about my wife right now.
So one of the reasons this group, and I want each one, this is Andy Gardner. She is a longshoreman, and Denise is an educator. Linda Marroquin is an international businesswoman, and we all have different viewpoints of why we need to come together to talk to our legislators and let them know that women now are the ones that hold the key to the gate.
I didn't know there was any women in River Oaks.
No, there are women in River Oaks.
And Ben, you can't have a loan.
You're just saying it next to every great man is a great woman. So
That's right. So Andy, what your issues for getting involved in Blue Ribbon?
Well, back in 2011, when so many things started coming to light, Diane and I got together and did the War on Women rally in Austin. And that just snowballed into where we've done several events since then, and everything is bigger than the last. It's really grown exponentially. And the thing that brought me to all of it, being a union woman since 1980, one of the things that I've always been blessed with is equal pay. So, but I understand that that's a rarity rather than a norm. And so equal pay and our opportunities, in order for equal pay to really work out, you have to have the same opportunities also. So that has been my focus, and then that was women's health issues. So it was just a match made. We just had a ball. We ended up taking 3 buses from the Houston area to Austin. So I would say it was a success, and it was just a beginning, and we've just been growing ever since.
So obviously there was some bonding on the bus.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're sisters.
And Denise is here for a different group of reasons.
Yes, my reason is I will be standing up because I'm a former educator. And I think education is one of the top priorities. Not only that, I have an 83-year-old mother, and Medicaid is a very good priority. The reason why I'm standing up with this group of women.
Great. And yourself, why are you here?
Well, I think that for us to really get the whole state of Texas to go blue, we have to have a very strong force. And I believe that the strong force that's going to make the shift in this state is going to be women. So the opportunity that we have with the Blue Ribbon Lobby Day is for women to actually have an opportunity to go in front of their legislator and present their issues, their particular issues. And when you have an opportunity for so many women to flood the Capitol at once with the blue ribbons, I think it's going to be quite impactful. The other very critical thing is this is about the first time I think that we as a group, we as a Democratic group of women are going to do this, whereas the Republican women have been doing this quite a bit. So the fact that we have their ear now should make a huge difference. But another critical issue is that what we're really also looking to do is not only is it women, but it's the Hispanic women, the minority women, the black women, whose voice needs to be heard. And we want to have this forum for them.
Okay. So what are the major, under normal media, if you watch Fox News, if you watch it.
I do.
Actually, I watch it because I think it's pretty hilarious. I really do. I listen to the catchphrases, and I watch all the media so I can see the same story told 3 different ways, right? And when you really look at the different stories, why should anybody pay attention now? Elections are over. Yes, we have the state reps in session, but what difference can be made now? I mean, really, there are people who really think that way. I mean, I know, but you need to tell me.
Well, I can say one thing. If we do not use this forum to inform women about the atrocities that are happening in our legislature to women's health issues, women's work issues, our voting rights, and our education.
So what are they? Give me something that right now is like the hot topic. What is something that's going on that everybody needs to pay attention to right now?
Well,
Educational buttons.
education, I think one of the immediate big problems that we all need to address, not just women, but everyone needs to address, is that we have the ability to get a 9-to-1 matching fund for Medicaid. It has been offered by the federal government. We pay $1, they put in $9, and this is mainly for our Medicaid. This takes care of our elderly, our poor, our disabled, and our clinics. The fact that they're not going to use this again, that the current legislation, mainly Republicans, just don't want that matching fund. They don't want that federal money coming in to help those who. Our new pope would not like this. This is not going to help the poor. It's not going to help. And not just poor, marginal families. We have lots and lots of women that are healthy working men and women who are out there working every day, barely making it out there. And I can't think of a society where if you cut their education, cut their ability to earn more money, it won't give them a decent minimum wage to live on. On top of that, you cut their health care benefits, that you can't take care of mama, you can't take care of the little ones, you have trouble with daycare, which are all things coming down. Then they say, well, you know, all those new immigrants coming in, they're having too many children, but we're not going to let you get any birth control pills. Now, on some level, none of this makes any sense. I am a Democrat, but I am very fiscally conservative. But I am very socially liberal in that way. I don't believe there's a society on the planet that does not benefit when you pay for as much education as you can give a person and keep them healthy. Tell me a society that doesn't benefit from those two things, and tell me a society that doesn't benefit from care to their neighbor. You know, that's my passion. We believe that we have women whose issues are immigration. We're big on wanting to support the dreamers who are coming through. We believe that that's our next thing to get them into school. Some of them are being turned away. They can't afford tuition to go to school now that they are able. There are 1,000 things. I got a woman whose concern is fracking. I got one that's environmental. We got them, you know, that care about a clover leaf. We got them that care about dogs and cats and, you know.
The gamut, runs the gamut.
Human
no,
trafficking. Well, we're in the hub of human trafficking in the country. here.
That's right.
And the thing about education that's so sad is that we have not demanded, the women have not spoken up, and it's here because last year, in the last election, women's voter registration was 45th in the country, 45th out of 50 states. In Texas, the women's turnout was 49th. Our job is to embolden and reach to the passion of whatever woman we can in Texas. And whether you're Democrat or Republican, and just say these social issues matter. And it's not about what color or age you are, it's about the green that it takes to help be the underpinning and the safety net for our families.
And you can take whatever your issue to. With our lobby day we're doing on April 9th, it's not about one particular issue, it's about all of our issues. It's about women coming together, going to the Capitol. If they don't know their legislatures, it's a good time to get to know them, to bring your children. It's every issue that we are concerned about, we can take to Austin and let them know we're watching what you're doing and we're paying attention.
We're scoring.
Well, and one
We're
of the
keeping
things
score.
that got cut in our schools and has been, and I see that you have some people from the arts here, was arts. First thing cut. And I mean, it's never come back. We're just now getting to the point where we have some programs that are being given by other societies and groups with grants and things like that, but you worry about when are they going to get cut. The thing we're trying to do is to get attention, and we're going to have a hissy fit. We're going up there. We say we're not wusses anymore. We're tired of being discounted. And by golly, you know what? The Democrats actually carried Texas, this presidential election. And the reason they did was the women's vote. And the reason that we can turn this state into what it should be. If you're a Republican and you will listen and be reasonable, we want to talk to you. We certainly do.
Repeat that last statement again.
We actually asked to be scheduled to sit down.
I'm being serious. Repeat that last statement again.
Yeah, if you're a Republican and you're reasonable, we do want to talk to you.
Reasonable.
We want women to talk to you because they are begging. They are begging for their families. And what is good for their families, they take care of the little things most of the time. We're organizers, schedulers, collaborators.
And the mothers are all, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing that interested me about yourself is that you're with a union. And you're surrounded by men, I'm assuming.
Yes.
90+%, right?
Yes.
And so are you one of the feisty women out there that are always talking about the rights?
There are some that would say that, yes. Yes. I work with some great guys. And it's a matter of education. It's a matter of bringing awareness. So, I mean, we've come a long way. I've been with them since 1980, and I'm going to tell you something. I couldn't be prouder of how our men have stepped up.
So what do you do for them?
I work on the ships. Typically, a ship that comes in, we track the cargo, what's going on the ship, what's coming off the ship. We handle the export-import. So we're working with the gangs, making sure that the right cargo comes off. We don't want to take off a New Orleans cargo. Okay, so we deal with the cargo, everything like from your clothes to your shoes to your appliances in your home. The exports and the imports, everything comes over ship.
She managed to have the longshoremen for the first time in history give a donation to Annie's List, which is a Democratic women's group that recruits leadership.
Yeah.
They have stepped up in support of
Well,
us.
just so you know, her co-worker was on the show a while back
Oh, yes.
talking about the bond program.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, we want to invite everybody to Blue Ribbon Lobby Day, and it's a day where they can lobby both at home and in Austin. And if they would go to the website and sign up, we're going to have buses going out of Houston.
Can you zoom into this? Can you see me?
I see that we have a little bit of time to break, but
Zoom in.
the day is going to be a really long day, but it's going to be a great day. We have women coming from everywhere, from the east side to the west side to the valley. We've got women coming from Dallas and San Antonio, Lubbock, Waco, Kerrville, Texas.
So it says to meet at the Capitol 9:30, but where are you meeting here in Houston?
We will be meeting in a parking lot behind IBEW Hall, Ella and 610 for the major bus. There will be other passenger vans as we see the need. We have a group now coming out of Fort Bend and a group coming out of Galveston who are going.
So what time at the IBEW Hall? What time is that?
Between 6 and about 6:15.
Okay.
And they need to board the bus. Now, we don't travel in discomfort. So we have it's got a restroom, it's Wi-Fi, and it's got a video it's got a video so you can watch movies on it.
Very high tech.
Well, this is a woman's function.
Okay.
May I also say that tomorrow afternoon from 5:30 until 8 o'clock, we're having a cocktail to raise money, because quite frankly, this will cost a lot of money, and not all women can afford not only to take the day off to go on a Tuesday, but also to spend the money for the bus and for the lunch. So the cocktail tomorrow is at the Tasting Room on Alabama.
2409.
2409 Alabama. We would love everyone to show up. We will offer very great prices on wine. We've got hors d'oeuvres, and we're looking to raise money. So the point is, we're looking to raise money to support women in going to Blue Ribbon Lobby Day.
So the website is blueribbonlobbyday.com. Blueribbonlobbyday.com. Spell it all out. It's on there. And what's the website for the road organization?
It's roadwomen.com.
Can you spell that for us?
ROADWOMAN.com.
Road Woman.
Road Woman.
Roadwoman.
Woman.com.
Roadwoman.com.
One word.
Okay. Well, I really do appreciate y'all's time, and I hope that our viewers are able to attend. And you are all welcome once again to come back anytime so we can actually discuss what you said. You were going to give me a piece of your mind from what I said earlier. I was ready. He said, come on, let's do this. But unfortunately, my producer's like, get it up.
Yeah,
didn't have enough time.
Just
Oh,
one
well.
thing. And, our slogan for this day is it's about people and not politics.
Awesome.
That's right.
So that,
I like that slogan.
It
thank
is
you
about
very
people.
much. Well, we mean it's heartfelt.
Yeah, good.
Thank you for having us.
Well,
very
thank
much.
you, and thank you so much for joining us. And
Thank you.
And if you're out there watching, make sure you visit the website and you attend the event. Once again, it is blueribbonlobbyday.com or roadwoman with an A .com, and please visit these organizations and be part of them. And we'll be right back with the Houston Arts Association, right? Okay, we'll be right back. You're watching Latino Talk TV.
Great.
Excellent.
You did okay.
back. Sorry about that. We're live TV once again. Okay, you're watching Latino Talk TV, and now, after that great segment, we are now joined by Mr. Angel Quesada, from a program associate for the Houston Arts Alliance. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And also, a band that doesn't need an introduction, but please introduce.
Introduction, Javier Perez, the director of the Talento Bilingüe de Houston.
Okay, so we are going to discuss a collaboration that's going on. Please feel
That's
free
right.
to discuss.
It's actually this weekend.
Okay.
This is live, so we're going to be talking about this weekend,
Okay.
the 23rd at Guadalupe Park, Plaza Park. TBH is actually going to be the place on the stage where we're going to be having the symposium kind of workshop. Mm-hmm. It's a workshop basically on the polyrhythms of Cuban son. Son means sonido, beautiful sound. That's where the word son comes from.
Okay.
Originally from Africa. It permeates all three of the events. As you guys have these colorful flyers here. Uno, dos, tres is the event. It's the name of the event. We're starting with uno. It's going to be Cuba with El Rectorado del Son. And then coming up, dos is going to be over at Mecca, Multicultural Education and Counseling Through the Arts, April 13th. And that's going to be with Son Vallenato, Colombian artists. And then tres is going to be with the ethnic cultural community of Garifuna, with a band who, most of them come from Honduras. And that's going to be May 18th in 5th Ward. So we're really excited about all of these cool events that are free to the public.
You know what? This is very creative. I don't know who did your brochure, but you know, there's 3 events. Uno, dos, tres. That's very creative. I really like what you did here.
Yeah, and the colors actually are taken from the different flags from those countries.
The only thing you need, what's missing, is Javier Perez's picture.
No,
Say hosted by.
they want to make sure they get passed around, not thrown away. So how did y'all come up with this, and why are we focusing on Cuba? I mean, it's wonderful. Cuba, Colombia. And
Well, as you know, the Latino population is one of the largest in Houston, and it's one of the fastest growing in Houston. We are predominantly here at this talk show right now. At this particular moment, we are all, I would venture to say, Mexican-American. Am I right?
I am.
More than likely.
How about yourself?
We can't figure out what it is. We can't figure it out.
depends on who you know.
He's from Spain.
No,
No hablo inglés.
mi familia es de Chihuahua. Somos
Chihuahua, that's
chihuahuenses.
not Mexico. That's a dog. No. So,
No,
so basically,
calmado.
no, so the idea is to kind of engage new audiences and bring those growing audiences that are not necessarily Mexican or Mexican American, but in this case, Cubano and Colombiano and Garifuna, which is also Latino. These are Latino audiences, and there are so many types of Latinos in Houston. And the general picture is I work for the Houston Folklife and Traditional Arts program, and we did this series of programming that involves immigrant arts from Houston. All different types of things, like we had a concert at Asia Society with all these different Asian groups. We had these series of lectures at different places, and this is the concert series. Next comes an exhibition on Indian weddings. But this one we're launching this weekend, and we're really excited because the group, the gentleman who was going to be on the air with me, but instead we got lucky and we had Javier. He actually got stuck in traffic, but he is the leader of the band.
That's what happens when you have live TV here.
Live TV, baby.
Almost never make it on time.
Hey, you've been late too. Don't be talking. I've only been late.
The show must go
Must go
on.
on.
Greg
So
Combrion's been lost in traffic for 4 weeks.
Whenever the audience sees me in that chair right there, that's because Jose is stuck in traffic.
That's the only reason why. I'm dying to
Call
see
it in.
No, I'm not. No.
But let me tell you, you know, now that funding has been cut because of all the economy issues and so forth, I will tell you, I'm glad to see the partnership. Now, I know TBH has partnered up with many, many groups, including the Houston Opera just recently. So it's good to see the collaboration amongst the groups.
I think that's the only way to survive, really. You
Yeah.
know, it's no longer the climate of do your own thing and go your own way. I think really institutions, arts organizations really have to come together, and if we're going to make it.
You know, the Houston Arts Alliance also has been very diligent. I know Pat Jasper has been working on this for probably 18 months, you know, getting this thing together. And Anlet came on, has been you know, he's been just a great help in getting this thing together. So, and I mean, and we're actually we are collaborating with you know, it's a total of 4 organizations: Houston Arts Alliance,
Mecca.
TBH, Mecca,
and KPFT.
and KPFT. Wow. So it's I mean, it's just if this is the way things are going, it's great because it's in great hands. And I tell you, I just can't say enough about Houston Arts Alliance. They've really been diligent in getting this done and getting the funding done and getting all the little details you need to have a function at a city park. You know, that's not the easiest thing to do, and they have been great about it. And I know Angel has really done a fantastic job. So I want to thank you, brother, for doing what you're doing.
I don't know if I'm missing it, but I don't see a price on here.
That's right. There is no price.
That's
free. It's
first thing Ben
priceless.
looks for is price.
Okay, so
It's free
free.
99.
Gratis.
Free
how do
99.
you make your monies? How do you all
This
make your
this
monies?
collaborative is it's funded through a city initiative grant. So usually you can apply for this grant every year if you have I think it's 2 or 3 partners. But if you do it by yourself, you can only do it every 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we started talking about this project with Mecca and TBH last February.
I think so.
Like
Yeah.
this, like,
And you know what? This is great weather right now.
oh, it's going to be great weather.
great weather.
Yeah, we checked the Farmer's
Saturday,
Almanac and
March
está
23rd.
padre.
So you ever did the rain dance so the rain wouldn't come?
That's right.
I tell you, and you know,
We wrote to the Pope.
I tell you, and if you've been at the Puerto Rican Cuban Festival, you know that place sells out. I mean, they have 20,000 people at that festival.
What?
At the
Puerto
And
Rican
we're doing
Cuban
this for
Festival.
free?
And we're doing this for free. You know, the Cubano community, we need you to come out. In my best Tony Montana voice, we need you to come out and support
This is a
Doctor del
wonderful
Sol.
event.
Leave it to Javier.
Right? Let's see here. So one more question. Are there opportunities for people to do expos or events there? Like, say
Well,
you
let
want
me tell you like what to expect at this event.
Okay.
You know, we'll just break it down. 5 o'clock comes. We have a workshop that's about 30 to 45 minutes. It's going to take place in the theater.
In the theater.
It's going to be a listening workshop. So what we're going to do is talk about the polyrhythms of Cuban son. This is going to be very interesting because we'll start with clave and add maracas and add the bongo and then continue to build up to like bass and singing. And then we go outside at 6:30. Bam! The concert hits. Free sounds for everyone, and it's not like salsa, which is like the rock and roll of Latin America. Son, it's like a really traditional sound from like the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. That's when it was really, exported in the 50s to America. So you've got this like, you've got bongos, bass, guitar, maracas, and singing,
So you're going to have food, I'm assuming?
No.
No food?
No. Yes, we are.
Oh, you
yes,
have
we are.
food? Well,
We
that's
do have food.
TBH's business.
So you're going to sell food and
Well, yeah,
drinks?
we have a couple of nonprofit groups that we're going to help out, and they're going to be selling food there and selling drinks. I think a church group has volunteered to help us out.
Okay, so you're going to go, what I'm trying to get at, so the family can go,
Yeah.
watch the entertainment and eat there,
Absolutely.
And dance there.
and dance there.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a real dance
Great.
affair. All of the concerts are structured the same way. 5 o'clock workshop, 6:30 concert, free, family friendly, outside.
Yeah.
And I have to ask this, is Javier going to sing again?
No.
But he's gonna be dancing.
I answered that one for you.
That's the
No.
on the grapevine.
Ben always asks that question, man.
Javier just
quit hating.
loves the microphone,
Quit
let me tell you.
hating, man.
He loves the microphone.
Don't hate, elevate. Come on now.
Speaking of hating, right? There's been a lot of funding being cut from the arts programs. What kind of impact is that having on y'all as an organization and you all as an organization?
Well, I know that a certain amount of money gets set aside via hot money. It's called hot money, hotel occupancy tax money, and that's part of the cultural affairs department of any, metropolitan center of any great great nation.
Yeah.
So cutting arts funding doesn't necessarily impact this program. And our organization is more of a, it's known more for its funding and civic arts project. But yes, there has been a hit. I think the hit has been felt more from organizations that don't receive necessarily hot monies or things like that. For example, TBH or
Exactly,
Mecca,
yeah.
These independent arts organizations that are, just out in the wilderness, cutting down cultural terrain and bringing it for people to come and settle into and be familiar with, new territories that Houston has to offer.
So what kind of artist are you? I mean, are you a musician? Are you into the art, the actual
Myself,
art?
I'm a curator, I'm a muralist, I'm a musician.
All of the above.
Yes.
Okay.
Ben, and I
Are you
really
an artist?
I got to take my hat
I wish
off
I was.
to Houston Arts Alliance, because they've done a fantastic job of spreading that money around to as many partners as they can. Very, they're really promoting the arts. And they can't do enough, and I can't say enough good things about Houston Arts Alliance.
So do
because they're
y'all
really
team up
coming out
with the
supporting.
international festival and those?
No, the International Festival is its own entity. They're for profit, I
Okay.
believe.
Okay.
I'm not
For-profit?
completely sure, but yeah, I think so.
So, give me some of the names of the groups that you partner up besides Mecca and TBH.
HGO, any dance organization in town, pretty much all of the arts organizations in town. We fund them.
Okay.
And we have grants. We're kind of like the cultural affairs department of Houston.
So if I want to start a salsa group, I can get funding from you?
Are you a nonprofit, sir?
No, I'm just saying.
Technically, well, wait a second, all you need is a tax ID number. No, I'm just kidding.
It depends how tasty the salsa is.
And on that note,
Well, I guess we need to tell them the other dates of the other concerts also.
Well, I think that if we can get people down to this Saturday at 5 p.m. at Guadalupe Plaza Park, a beautiful pastoral scene of dancing, we can get the word out there. But the other ones, you can go to HoustonArtsAlliance.com, and all of the information is there.
And also TBH, tbhcenter.org.
okay, so we're going to producers put the website on the screen if possible, please. The HoustonArtsAlliance.com, HoustonArtsAlliance.com, and the other website is
tbhcenter.org.
tbhcenter.org. Okay. The websites will be on the screen shortly.
I don't know if we even mentioned where TBH is. Obviously, we know where it is, but
Yeah.
did you mention it to the viewers?
Actually, if you know where La Iglesia de Guadalupe is, or if you hit Jensen, okay, I know how to tell most Houstonians where it is. Do you know where Ninfas is, the original Ninfas?
Down the street.
Just throw a
Couple
tortilla.
blocks west. But it's right at the corner of South Jensen Navigation, right across the street from La Guadalupe Church. They've just celebrated 100 years. If you've been anywhere in Houston, you know where La Guadalupe is. Right in the beginning of the East End, right outside downtown.
Yeah, you head
So it's a great place.
east on Franklin, through the underpass, 2 lights, ice pass.
And you're right there, and we'll have plenty of free parking.
333 South
So,
Jensen.
It's
So you're
going
going to park at the church also in case you run out of parking?
We have some park at the church, and we have some of our partners, some of the other galleries are letting us use their parking also. So
Great.
hopefully parking won't be a problem.
Hopefully the Houston Arts Alliance, I'm assuming you already are getting involved with trying to get more arts programs inside the schools, because now that we have at HISD site-based management, there's a lot of campuses that have knocked out all funding for any arts programs. I mean, it's
Yeah, I think that's really about. There's an arts advocacy group out of Austin, I know. What's it called? Arts for America, and they have a Texas chapter that's really quite active. But yeah, it takes going to the legislators. I mean, there's so many noticeable studies about how art impacts children's lives and makes them smarter and excel in learning.
Well, I didn't realize this, but there's a lot of math involved in the arts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so no.
And in music too.
musician. I played the saxophone
Now
for a long time.
Your brother Jose isn't he the music director at
Assistant
Walter?
director for Walter.
Yeah, he's assistant band director at Waltrip High School, and he was a head band director at Hamilton Middle School before that, and before that, Sharpstown Middle School also.
Yeah, and I know my son is at Frank Black, and that school has just exploded as far as with the amount of kids going there. So they've just resurrected their music program there. And he was able to sit in with a few concert with your brother. And I tell you, he loves it. He plays the trumpet and he loves it.
Well,
As you
since
gotta
we're
tell-
talking about instruments, I think you're going to be surprised. I used to play the violin from the 3rd grade to the 11th grade.
Wow.
So I
Okay.
do.
In mariachi
I do-
or what?
Actually, well, it wasn't all mariachi, but we did play the violin and different types of music that we
Okay.
performed. Yeah.
I was in jazz band and played the saxophone from the 6th grade on, all the way up to.
So
about you,
there's
Javier?
arts everywhere.
I sang.
I wish I still played, to be honest with you. I wish it was like a.
Yeah, it's a great outlet. I mean,
people's
there's so
band.
many things that words can't say, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
like I
a
said,
good grito does.
Keep the microphone away from Javier,
Yep.
and you won't get it
You'll
back.
be like doing the gritos nonstop.
So if you're out there watching, just a reminder, Saturday, March 23rd, if you're watching this live right now, mark your calendar, pull it out your phone. March 23rd at 5 o'clock at Guadalupe Park, 333 South of Jensen. It will be a wonderful event called the Polyrhythms of Cuban Son, and it's free. I mean, I don't know how better that can get. I mean, it's free.
You might as well mention the other two.
Yeah, might as well. Saturday, April 13th, the Colombian artist Orgullo Vallenato. They will be playing at Mecca Pavilion Green, 1900 Kane Street. And then Saturday, May 18th, the Garifuna artist Lumali and
Lumalali, yeah,
Lumali.
Yeah.
Lumali or Lumali?
yeah.
Whichever one it is. All right, there you go. Please forgive me for butchering the name, but they have the special guest, and they will be playing at the 5th Ward Jam, 3705 Lyons Avenue. And that's pretty awesome that you're going to be playing in 5th Ward.
Yeah, actually, there's a predominant community of Creole and Garifuna, believe it or not, in Fifth
You know, I
Ward.
had never even heard of a garifuna.
Never heard
Really?
Creole. Garifuna, I don't
Well,
know.
it's very interesting because the Garifuna came from Africa, and they settled and they escaped as, you know, they were brought as, they were going to be traded as slaves. They escaped, married the Carib and the Arawak tribes of like the Caribbean nations, and then they got captured again. And they kept that culture with them, and then they disseminated that culture throughout, and they escaped again, and so that culture has recently, as recent as 2011, been designated by UNESCO as a humanities treasure. So this is a very rare thing. You're not going to see this unless you know like a bunch of Garifuna and you're like hanging out, because the kind of stuff the way we find these groups, I mean, we're up till like 3 in the morning trying to find these groups and where they hang out, and we like
So
wound up
you
seeing
really
them.
Go Houston and look for these groups.
Yeah, they're not like
Yeah.
easy to find.
Yeah.
There's like a group of Garifuna here in Houston?
Yes, a big group.
Yeah, and there's a big story behind Garifuna that apparently someone was telling me that they had some where their homeland, they had like some kind of disease with the coconut trees or something that killed their economy, so they were starting to spread out all over the the Caribbean area, including the United States, the Gulf of Mexico, because of the disease to their economy.
It's kind of like a diaspora. So the Garifuna, they settled in a lot of like Honduras and Belize and I think Venezuela and so some other coastal countries there. But basically they come from Africa, and so like the older Garifuna, they speak Garifuna, and then their second language is Spanish. So the ones that are the younger people who are here, Garifuna communities, they speak Spanish and Garifuna and very little English.
Never even heard of that. So it's kind of
Yeah, it's
interesting.
awesome. Yeah.
But their skin is
Yeah.
black, so they just blend right in, and you're like, hey man, ¿qué pasó?
Well, like the Cubanos, if you go to the Southwest,
¿Qué dice?
there's
¿Qué dice?
a lot of Cubans that you don't, you think they're African American, and they're Cubans.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
And,
call them,
and identify themselves as Hispanics.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Latinos. And on that note, we're almost running out of time. Any closing remarks from anybody? Just remember to
Well,
come
I think TBH has some other events also coming down the pike.
Oh man, we got, you know what, our best thing is to check our website. We got all kinds of things happening. We got to have some fundraisers coming. Oh, this weekend also, it's not at TBH, but it's with our friends, our partners at Houston Grand Opera. They have the Mariachi Opera this coming week, and if you go to our website and hit the link there, you can get tickets. You can approximately savings of about 40%
Wow.
off the tickets, and that their show is Thursday. There's 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. So that's another. You don't need to miss the
Grand
Mariachi
Opera
Opera.
did a great job with the show that they did at your place.
Past the checkpoints, they did
Yeah,
an
that
excellent
was
job.
awesome.
And this was the Mariachi Opera I guess it was the reason where that came out, the past the checkpoint. So don't miss it. The Mariachi Opera, it's great.
Okay.
I've heard the singers, and they are fantastic.
Awesome. We're good? All right. Then if you're out there watching, thank you for watching the show tonight. You watched a great hour of Latino Talk TV. Please join us next week. We'll be here again next Monday, and we'll bring in some more exciting topics of the Houston community. So thank you for watching Latino Talk TV. Have a great night.